Hey, Coach Deb here with another meteorology class weather short. This mini lesson will cover converting from Zulu time to Eastern Standard Time. When you look at a world map, you can see that the world map's divided into 24 different time zones. When we look at Zulu time, or when we convert from Zulu time is actually also referred to as Greenwich Mean Time, which is the time at the prime meridian. So anytime you see a Z time or a Zulu time, that's the time at the prime meridian. We are located in the Eastern time zone right here. So in the Eastern time zone for Eastern Standard Time, we actually subtract 5 hours from Zulu time to convert it to Eastern Standard Time. So again, all of your conversions, at least for the beginning of the semester until the time changes in March, will be taking Zulu time and subtracting 5 hours from it to convert to Eastern Time. With this meteorology class here at Fruitport, we only focus, or I only have you focus on Eastern Standard Time, just to make it a little less complicated than the other time zones across the US. Okay, so again, just to review, Zulu time, also referred to as UTC, also called Greenwich Mean Time or GMT. So all of these are the same thing, UTC, Zulu time, GMT. We use Zulu time in meteorology because weather systems always move, or almost always move, from a different part of the country or a different part of the world. So that we're all looking at the same time, or a standard time, a common time, instead of the different time zones, we refer to it as Zulu time. So in other words, 00Z in the Eastern time zone is also 00Z in Chicago, or 00Z in Denver, or 00Z on the West Coast. They just have to subtract a different number of hours from it to get to their specific time zone. So here's a little basic Zulu time. 00Z is 12 a.m. or midnight, but it's midnight at the prime meridian. It's midnight Greenwich Mean Time. 13Z is 1 p.m., but it's 1 p.m. at the prime meridian. Now, if you were paying attention a few seconds ago, you would know that we take these Zulu times and we subtract 5 hours from them. So 00Z, which is 12 a.m. at the prime meridian, we would subtract 5 hours from that to get to our Eastern Standard Time. So midnight, and then if you subtract 5 hours from it, it would be 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 7 p.m. So 00Z at the prime meridian is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 13Z, anything over 12, I always ask myself, how much more than 12 is it? And that's the PM time. So 13 is one more than 12. So that would be 1 p.m. But that's 1 p.m. at the prime meridian. We've got to subtract 5 hours from that to get to Eastern Standard Time. So 1 p.m. minus 5 hours is noon, 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 8 a.m. So 13Z would be 8 a.m. in the Eastern time zone, or here in Fruitport, Michigan. Here's a couple more problems to look at, or to give you examples of. So converting from Zulu time to Eastern Standard Time, here's some examples. 14Z. Remember, I think it's easier for me to ask how much more is 14 than 12. You can also do 14 minus 12, but then kids get confused with subtracting the 12 and then subtracting the 5 hours. So again, 14Z, how much more than 12 is 14? 14 is 2 more than 12. So that would be 2 p.m., but that's 2 p.m. at the prime meridian. We've got to subtract 5 hours from that to get to Eastern Standard Time. So 2 p.m. minus 5 hours. Sometimes I have to count when you go from p.m. to a.m., count on my hand. So 2 p.m. minus 5 is 1 p.m., noon, 11 a.m., 10 a.m., and 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another example here, 6Z. Anything from 0Z up to 11Z is just that time in AM time. So 6Z is 6 a.m., but it's 6 a.m. at the prime meridian. We've got to subtract 5 hours from that. So 6 a.m. minus 5 hours, 6 minus 5 would give us 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's a couple more problems to look at. So look at these right here. And then what I would do if I were you is I would pause the video. So pause the video at this time and write these problems down. And then try to do these before I put the answer key up. So again, at this time, pause the video. Okay, well, hopefully you figured these out or practice these on your own. Let me show you the key and then I'll just go over one. And then if you have more questions, you can ask me in class or keep practicing these until you get an idea of what these are. So here's your key right here. So 7Z would be 7 a.m., but that's 7 a.m. at the prime meridian. So 7 minus 5, because we've got to subtract 5 hours to get to the Eastern Standard Time, would be 2 a.m. 21Z, anything over 12Z, you've got to ask yourself, how much more than 12 is it? So 21 is 9 more than 12, so that would be 9 p.m., but that's 9 p.m. at the prime meridian. We've got to subtract 5 hours from it, so that would give us 4 p.m. here. And then 3Z converts to 10 p.m. Remember, this is 3 a.m., but if you subtract 5 hours, you go across the midnight line, so that converts back to 10 p.m. And then 17Z, 17 is 5 more than 12. 5 minus 5 would give us, or 12, 5 p.m. minus 5 hours would make it 12 p.m. So again, practice those some more if you didn't get it, or ask me in class, and I'll go over a few more of them. And that's it for converting from Zulu time to Eastern Standard Time.